Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to Watchbox, and thanks for logging on. If you love this watch, email me, tmosso@thewatchbox.com. It's in the description below. Your purchase and pricing email question line for buying this or any watch you see on any Watchbox platform. Please reach out to me directly, tmosso@thewatchbox.com, for pricing. Today, we're discussing one of the stars of SIHH 2017, part of 3 sector dial master control models in stainless steel. This was the standout to my eye. It is the Jaeger-LeCoultre Master Geographic, a long-running JLC complication in a 39mm stainless steel case with a dial inspired by a vintage pocket watch from JLC's factory museum. It is 11.9mm thick, and it is approximately 46.7mm from lug to lug, so it's nice and compact across the wrist with a 20mm spacing between the lugs. Now throw it on my wrist, which is 16 centimeters in circumference. It wears beautifully. I could recommend this watch for a wrist as small as 13, maybe 13 and a half centimeters circumference. It's thin enough to slide underneath the cuff, and as you can see when we do the down the barrel shot, these lugs are nowhere near the edge of my wrist. You can also see from the top, there's plenty of clearance on each side, and it is low slung and handsome with a conical bezel for sliding under any kind of a dress cuff or sleeve. The strap is navy blue, semi-gloss, large rectangular scale alligator leather. There is some bolstering added to create volume at the center. It has a sheer cut side and then a monotone stitch on the underside. You can see calfskin, and this is a Jaeger-LeCoultre factory strap made by Camille Fournet in France, the OEM supplier, and you can see it is in outstanding condition. There's a simple matching stainless steel polished pin buckle. The case is simple and graceful. This is a departure from the master control cases of the 2000s, which all too often were shared with sports watches, a little bit too massive and ungainly for use in all-arounders and dress-oriented watches. And this one is somewhere between a sports watch and a dress watch. Satin mid-case with integrated lugs. You can see that there's a transitional bevel on the end. The lug hoods and the bevels are polished. The bezel actually has 2 elements, 2 vertical sections split by a shallow conical section, and then there is a simple JLC push-down crown of high polish with the JLC logo, sapphire crystal, very slightly domed over a dial that is sector style, which means it's broken out into concentric segments that are themselves divided by radial lines. This dial was actually inspired by a pocket watch from the JLC Heritage Gallery. So while JLC doesn't have any wristwatch history with this design, they do have a history of sector dials. Now the watch is equipped with several different silver finishes. You can see the one at center is matte or very subtly grained, and then there is a brushed concentric metallic that's a lighter and brighter silver that actually runs underneath the minute and second track as well as the hour track outboard. The hands are blue metallic and skeletonized with a syringe profile for the hours and the minutes, which I find lovely. Same for the sub-register in its second time zone. We have both black and blue printing on the dial, and then we have a city ring or a geographic ring. So you've got that second time zone, and it has an AM PM indicator. If you look closely, you can see there's a 24-hour indicator, so you know, for example, whether you're looking at 3 a.m. or 3 p.m. Now you can move everything in sync like so, or you can move the reference time separately, and you can see that 24-hour hand is moving in sync. Now, note the watch continues to tick. When you pull the crown out all the way, you activate the hacking seconds. But the geographic feature is not simply a dual time, nor is it exactly a world time. This feature, first introduced by JLC in 1989, allows you to change your city of reference, and in fact, the watch will do the math for you. Now, you'll note that there are little extensions adjacent to the cities for cities that use a distinction between summer and winter time. So that's actually denoted. You'll note that some cities, such as, for example, the island of Midway or Honolulu in Hawaii, are not actually using that time distinction. And you have 24 reference cities or locations for the 24 principal time zones of the world. And it's in a lovely blue on silver print. Turn it all over, manufacturer caliber 939. You could see that it is a combination of mechanical and hand finish, much like you'll find on a Moser or, for example, a Zenith or most Audemars Piguet watches. It's an automatic winder with unidirectional winding action for efficiency, ceramic rotor bearings for durability, the 43-hour power reserve, the stop seconds function. It beats weight 8 beats per second. It is free sprung for durability against shock as well as precise adjustment, and it features a rotor that is actually rose gold plated tungsten, so it's very massive, but it's a little bit of flattering to deceive. It is a plated piece of tungsten. The 34 joule movement is essentially an updated modern version of the long-running high horology ultra thin caliber 889. All of this has been tested for beyond 1,000 hours, hence master 1,000 hours control on the case, a test of winding efficiency, power reserve, chronometry, shock resistance, and water resistance. And to that end, the watch has a superb 5-bar or 50-meter water resistance. Remember, most dress watches are 20 to 30, so that is exceptional. The watch does include a number of traditionally finished elements, including Côte de Genève laid down by a abrasive wheel and true fire-blued screws, giving it a high horology, refined ambiance from a brand that frankly needs no introduction. Reach out to Team Mosso at thewatchbox.com for purchase and pricing details.